About 35 years ago, I told somebody what they do with the bell. So, anyway. Memories are a great thing. You know, whenever I came there tonight, Coach West called me at 6:45 on Friday morning, right before we're getting ready to play G.A. Moore's team in Aubrey. By the way, G.A. Moore just happens to be the guy that clips Coach Wood, so I don't really like him very much. And needless to say, we've beaten G.A. Moore's team the last 2 years. And so, again, that's attributed to Coach Wood also. But whenever you start talking about memories, you know, you start talking about some of the things that these guys over here and myself have been through. You know, there's a prophet by the name of Clint Eastwood that told Gene Hackman one time that deserves got nothing to do with it. Deserves has nothing to do with it is absolutely right, because I don't deserve this award or this recognition. The guys that I played with were picked fourth. And Coach Wood probably did the best job of his coaching life to make us get to the state finals. And those guys right over there, I was happy to be a part of them. And so I look back on those memories. You know, some of them aren't real bright. I can remember a freshman year that Coach Wood came into our locker room and called us a real nice name. And that name kind of stuck with us. Well, here I am. It was Turds. Called us a bunch of turds. And that name kind of stuck with us. And we took that to heart, put it as a label, and we determined from there that we were going to do something different. My senior year, I was fortunate enough to be asked to do the farewell. My sophomore year and junior year, I can remember Harold Barnes, and I think, I don't know, I can't remember who did it our junior year, but it was always a real somber, real sad, real cry type atmosphere. My senior year, I did the farewell, and I impersonated Foster Brooks. The reason why I did that, and I was a pretty good drunk, pretty convincing drunk. But the reason why I did that is because I learned some things from Coach Wood and the staff there at Brownwood High School, that it doesn't matter about things that don't matter. It don't matter about how fast your 40 is. It don't matter about how pretty you are. By the way, I'm glad that the introduction said that I was a real good athlete. Thank you, Coach Mark, Coach Southall. I appreciate that, because I've always told my wife that, and she never would believe me. Matter of fact, she got me a cup, said the older I get, the better I was. It sits on my desk right now. But I give honor to those that put me along the way. My mom and my dad taught me how to work hard, and that contributed and made over to the football field where Coach Wood and his staff developed that into a halfway decent football player. The guys that are in the maroon shirts right now, I want you to stand up, because there's a difference right now. Stand up. You guys that are in maroon shirts. There was something that happened when I was here at Brownwood High School. I learned the difference between expectations and standards. I live by standards now and not expectations. I serve a living God, and I know that He has recognized me because I recognize Him every chance I get. And those standards live deep in me that was inbred by my mom and dad and these coaches here. And so it don't matter how fast you run the 40. Those guys on television are going to tell you it's all about how fast you are, how strong you are. I'm going to tell you something, young man. I'm tired of hearing Salina walking around up there where I live talking about 8 state championships. It's a standard that you live by. Not only you, but you and your family and this whole stinking town. That's a good thing, by the way. Stinking is a good word in my vocabulary. You have to understand that that standard has been set. And it doesn't matter who you play, who may look to be the favorite to win a state championship. If you live by a standard and not an expectation, if you know deep in your heart that you will look around that group right there and you will have the same dedication, love, and commitment that I have for those guys, you guys stand up. Look at the athleticism of this group. Those guys right there were picked 4th in district. And we played for a state championship. The reason being is because they also understood about standards. I encourage each and every one of you guys that are in a maroon jacket, because there's lots of folks in here that understand what standards are because of wearing that maroon jacket. I'm going to leave you one thing about an example of what a standard is. You guys can sit down, but I challenge you to go out and do it. Not just be satisfied with the district championship like that, but go out and win one. There's an example of what has happened here in the last few days of what Coach Wood has taught this community, me as a person, and people in this room about standards and expectations. I went to church with a guy, and I don't mean to embarrass anybody or anything like that here in town. He was a little bit older than I was, and he was a pretty good coach himself. Won a few state championships over at Ennis. And I promise you, he is an embodiment of what Coach Wood taught. But the standard that Coach Shipley has done right here by bringing Sam Harrell back to Brownwood, Texas, is an example of expectation, of a standard over expectation. Absolutely. I don't know where Sam is, but he's back in Brownwood. There's a ratio, there is a hierarchy that if you will live by those standards, that everything else doesn't really matter. Those standards are the most important thing. The expectations will meet themselves. So I challenge you. I'm getting the coaching hat on right here. I challenge you. And I'm proud of Brownwood High School and Coach Shipley bringing Coach Sam Harrell back to this staff. And I'm proud of what Sam represents and what he has done to my profession, and also what has happened here at Brownwood High School. I thank you very much for the honor that's been bestowed upon me. I hope I didn't embarrass anybody. Mama wanted to make sure that, J. Fred was in here telling her, don't embarrass her into this place. And I said, well, Mama, you got your teeth in. That's all right. That's all right. So I think we're all right. So I don't think we'd embarrass anybody. I'm honored to be up here with this group of men. And by gosh, let's go win a state championship. Thanks very much.